These are all of the books that I'm going to be reading in the month of May. I do have a full-length video of how I decided on all of these using my TBR game. If you want to check that out, I will link it here. First, we have The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This is a romance that I fear is going to rip my heart out. This is about a woman that moves into her late aunt's apartment and finds a man standing in her kitchen one night, and turns out he is from 7 years in the past, and it is going to follow their love story. Next, we have Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I read Six of Crows last month for the first time. Obsessed. Chef's kiss. I must find out what happens to our gang. I unfortunately do not have my copy of it in my hands yet, but Japanese Gothic by Kylie Lee Baker. A young man in college and a young woman samurai in exile both find this Japanese house in their time of need. 150 years separates them, but somehow this rift in time opens to bring them together. This sounds so gothic, so atmospheric. High expectations. Next, we have The Wicker King by Kay Ingram. This is a young adult kind of fantasy magical realism story following two boys, one of which is struggling with some hallucinations, and his best friend who is trying to help him through this troubling time in his life. And this book is just so cool. The pages progressively get darker and darker as the book goes on, I assume to reflect the mental well-being of our poor boy. Next, we have The Martian by Andy Weir. I, like many others, have been obsessed with Project Hail Mary lately. I read it when it first came out and immediately put this on my TBR. Kind of lost interest in it for a little bit, but with the movie recently coming out and reigniting that obsession, I must read this now. We are following our man Mark. He and his crew are the first to step foot on Mars, but when a storm hits or something happens that forces his crew to evacuate without him, he is left on the surface of Mars alone. Only his resourcefulness to survive on. We have Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. This follows a live-in nanny recounting the events leading up to her imprisonment when one of the children that she is nannying ends up dead. She is accused of the murder. There's also something weird about the house. It is a smart house. There is technology everywhere. There's cameras everywhere. I am very intrigued. And lastly, we have Molka by Monica Kim. I am so excited for the feminine rage, the good for her revenge. Molka is the Korean term for hidden or miniature spy cameras secretly and illegally installed. So we are following a woman in the aftermath of having a sexual experience with her boyfriend being leaked online, and I just cannot wait for the gruesome revenge that I know she is going to take. Let me know if you've read any of these books, or if we're unintentionally buddy reading anything. Let me know down in the comments what you're most excited to read in the month of May.